With phone or not at all?
No,
Without,
phone. They
Or-
got tools and computers.
Oh, okay, so do I need a number in there?
but
It should be okay, and then you just start video.
what if you don't join audio at all?
Right. You can produce what you got through here.
Right, but when you,
Well, it works best.
Does work best.
I don't know why. I don't even know why mine came up.
Asking for a phone number though, when I join phone.
I just left apparently.
yeah, need a quarter. Your time might run out.
Meeting ID again, please.
Sure.
Yeah.
843-0514. 1129.
So if I click audio, it's computer audio, it's in feedback.
Yeah.
It's the only thing it's letting me do. It's not letting me do the phone thing.
Oh, then don't join with audio.
183-198.
Yeah. Okay.
Why does it keep on kicking Chuck off?
Why does it keep going away? It's me, I'm,
We
audio.
have a quorum in person,
We
so
took
we
that
can
one.
start.
All need to be connected.
Right.
Here doesn't need to be connected.
That's what I'm telling Craig. We could do the meeting
Okay,
right now. We're live, we're recording,
Yeah.
we're here.
all right. Great, nice. We'll call together the counties of Warren and Washington Industrial Development Authority on their regular December meeting, December 19th, 2022. To be started at 4 p.m., a few technical delays. We are now at 4:20, opening the meeting. First order of business called to order with a roll call and quorum confirmation. Miss Ellie, can you do a roll call, please?
Tim Robinson,
Here.
Brian Campbell,
Here.
Jenny Sullivan, Juan Gonzalez,
Here.
Dan Bruno,
Here.
Craig Leggett.
Here.
We have a quorum of 6 out of 10.
Thank you. Chairman O'Brien is not able to be here today. As vice chair, I am presiding over the meeting. First order of business is the approval of minutes of the November 21st, 2022 IDA board meeting. Motion to bring to the floor. Supervisor Campbell, and a second by, Officer, Member Robinson. Discussion? Call the question. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next order of business is from Treasurer with accounts payable approval and year-to-date financial report. Treasurer, you have the floor.
I guess I am the treasurer next year, but,
Oh,
yeah, but that's.
who is it? Who is it this year?
But that's all right.
Brian.
I'll let Jim start. This is Christmas gift.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First, the account payable, the list, if anybody have any questions on the payable, that we're signing off on today. If not, I go to the income, statement of the balance sheet for the IDA. Obviously a very strong, healthy position for the IDA. Where did I find my example? I'd be glad to talk to them in a second. There we go. So operating revenue is $1,074,000. That excludes obviously it excludes the land donate or the land coming into the fold of the IDA, the Canal Park. But if you look at the operating expenses, true operating expenses, they're $454,000. That does include some canal side expenses and does not include the real estate taxes that we pay. So you're looking at a surplus for 2022 through November of $620,000 in net income. You can see from the balance sheet, we have a very strong, healthy balance sheet with minimal liability and good cash position. I am going to get with Chairman O'Brien and Martin and discuss better ways to maximize the money sitting in a now account, which is phenomenal. I believe that's a non-interest bearing account. I don't know if we know that, but if it is, we shouldn't be installing interest on it. So we'll take a look at that. Anybody
So
else?
we're in the process of transferring into a money market account for Glens Falls National. We're also in the process of figuring out a way to maximize CDC because CDC is not a municipality, can't participate in that same money market account. We could, but it'd be 1%. There's other places where you get better funds for the CDC.
Okay,
I think the interest rate for the money market's what, 2.38?
Right now, the money market rate at the town, I don't know what it is, and I assume it's about the same as 2.88.
Same.
But you have to leave a certain amount in reserve, so the CDC might be what is in part of what's in reserve, and that way you wouldn't have to mess with both accounts, and it would help offset. So you don't get to
No,
keep
No, we figured that out. We need to keep $160,000 in reserve, which we are. We're going to transfer, I can't remember, 1.5 or something into the money market account. So we've taken care of the reserve of the 160.
Yeah,
Okay.
so let the CDC be part of that reserve is what I'm saying, that we don't.
Can't be. CDC is not a municipality, whereas the IDA is a municipality.
I
Okay.
think you're missing the point, but we'll discuss that later.
Yeah, we'll work those out because the checking does have 1.5 million in it right now. It's time to get it into an interest bearing.
Great.
That's-
And that was the only comments I had unless anybody has any questions.
You were very good among their.
Thank you.
You know, I do have a question on the fixed assets, -357, for machinery and equipment other. Is that a depreciation? Is that,
What line item are you on?
we're on the balance sheet
Yeah.
and going down under fixed assets, 104, the subset of 104, machinery and equipment other. So,
It looks like a fully depreciated value because 357 furniture and equipment above matches the -357.
Oh.
We can look into that.
Right. they
Gotcha.
zero each other
okay,
out.
thank you.
You need a motion to accept accounts payable and pay the accounts payable.
Oh, yeah, we'll do that.
We're not done.
Yeah, did you want a better explanation?
I was just gonna say.
No,
I
that
can
was a
look
good
in-
explanation. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, and then, yes, David, we do
Okay.
need a motion for that, but I was gonna do everything at once. Well, if you'd like it, so, go ahead, I don't know how it works. Janet?
I would accept a motion for the accounts payable approval.
Second.
Okay, Supervisor Campbell, Supervisor, your names are all wrong out there. You know. Bruno. On second, any further discussion? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor of approving the payables, say aye. Opposed?
Actually, we usually do roll call for.
And we will now also do a roll call. Just want to make sure we're good to go.
Tim Robinson.
Aye.
Brian Campbell.
Yeah.
Ginny Sullivan. Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Dan Bruno.
Yes.
Craig Leggett.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay,
The financial.
and do we approve the financial report? Move to approve the financial report. Thank you, Mr. Robinson, and a second by Mr. Gonzalez. Roll call.
Tim Robinson.
Yeah.
Brian Campbell.
Yes.
Ginny Sullivan. Juan Gonzalez.
Yes.
Dan Bruno.
Yes.
Craig Leggett.
Yes. Okay. Reports of the committees, Canal Side Master Plan update. Supervisor Bruno, do you have that?
We're going to be meeting, this week to review that. We're scheduled to meet myself, Jarrett, I believe, Chuck. We're going to get together and review the proposal from Labella. And then next week, or is it this week, we review same master plan with Canal Corp. And let you know what transpires from those.
So that's next week.
Yeah, the meeting review, excuse me, Labella proposal is Wednesday,
Right,
and then it was now Corp on Thursday.
this week.
Correct.
Then next week, we'll meet again to the final acceptance, I believe.
Yeah, we have a proposal from Labella that has, which Paul has field investigations, wastewater conveyance design, water conveyance design, environmental review, and permitting. That's all correlated with the MVRC grant. So it's quite an extensive proposal, so we decided that we're gonna have a separate meeting to go through all the details.
Okay,
And then the meeting with Canal Corp is to talk to them about the sewer route. The optimal route is through the property, so we'll be seeking their feedback on the proposed route.
Right, we need approval from them to utilize their property, so to speak.
okay. Good. Any other questions regarding Canal Side? Okay, staff reports. Would that be you, Executive
Sure.
Director?
Okay,
CDO.
staff report, I have general updates, things that have transpired since our last board meeting. And then a quick overview of what's going on with some pilot opportunities in front of us. And then also talk a little bit about some of the projects. As far as the activities over the past month, of course, many of us were at the CHPE groundbreaking. Day after that, we had a meeting to talk about the Lehigh cement situation and see if there's opportunities to help them with future uses of the site. There are some actions. We met with the EDC, the mayor of Glens Falls, and a few other parties. And there's more to come. Lehigh really is in the driver's seat for this situation, so they're going to go back and talk with the headquarters office about some opportunities. Then there was the ARCC holiday mixer at Fort William Henry Resort. And soon after that, there was a potential tenant that's interested in Canal Side. So on the 2nd December, I toured that potential tenant around the site. And then the same day, actually, we had one of our Labella master planning meetings. Then actually on the same day, on the 2nd, there's a meeting with Lake George Village. They are looking for some assistance concerning seasonal worker housing. So they've asked the IDA to be involved with a multifaceted committee. We're also starting the update for our website. As you may know, we're working with Black Dog and Bean. And we are looking at the branding, the messaging, the logo. We're looking at site mapping, graphic design, general website development, putting the content. We're going to look a little bit into social media and see if there are opportunities to leverage social media. We'll also be looking at the site maintenance mechanisms. We'll be looking at links of other sites. And we're also going to explore board member portal. So for our board meetings, there'll be a portal for board materials. This project will probably take several months, and you'll get general updates, particularly on the initial messaging, which we're working, being communications right now. Then on December 8th, we had a meeting with what is being called the Warren Washington Strategic Economic Alliance. The main theme from that meeting was to talk about common messaging for housing issues in the area. So the group is looking to form a common message. More to come on that. And then on the 8th, there was an EDC holiday mixer. And then on December 12th, I met with a distribution company that is looking to expand into our region. At this time, we're not going to disclose who that company is. As far as pilot activity, As you know, we had the Morcon application on hold. We are in constant contact with them to be ready when they're ready to continue to advance that application. We are expecting 2 applications, one for resort development in Queensbury. The applicant is in the process of working with the town, and when it's appropriate, they'll be engaged in the IDA. We also in Lake George have a plus 100 unit workforce housing project. The project and other projects in Lake George are on hold right now, where the village and the town are looking at the evaluation of their water and sewer systems for additional development. So until the opportunities for development are clarified, the application will not be submitted. We have several other 8 specifically potential applications where there has been commitment, but there's been some dialogue. We have a hotel project in Lake George. We have a mixed use and workforce housing project in Greenwich. We have a medical company in Queensbury, we have a distribution company in Queensbury, an industrial development opportunity in Queensbury, workforce housing in Queensbury, mixed use and workforce housing in Johnsburg, and a tourism development opportunity in Whitehall. But it's still very early to be talking about those potential applications. As far as the solar activity, I won't go into detail, but we are in communication with 9 different opportunities, both in Washington and Warren County. As we know, every solar project is a little bit different. They're also at different development stages. So we are waiting for them as far as when they will be submitting the application for IDA evaluation. So with that, that's my update, unless there are any questions.
Any questions for the CEO? Okay. None. Ally, any updates from you?
No.
Okay. Staff reports. Item 6, unfinished business. All those in favor of finishing it, say aye.
Aye.
Wow. So unfinished business, I don't know exactly what's under that category heading, but
I think that's where the acting chairman, the vice chair now sings Merry Christmas to us.
We have no unfinished business on the schedule for this month, agenda for this month.
Okay, thank you.
He wouldn't be away if there was.
The new business, we need officer nominations. So
Well,
are these all
Well, don't you present like, from the executive committee?
okay? I don't have that.
You have-
Here you go.
Thank you. The IDA Executive Committee met and they have put forth a slate of officers. The nominations for 2023. Mr. Wild nominated Mr. O'Brien as a 2023 chair, Mr. Leggett as the 2023 vice chair, Mr. Robinson as the 2023 secretary / treasurer. And that's it for the officers at this point in time. Then we have at-large members for executive committee. But that would be a different motion, correct?
Correct.
That would be a different motion. The at-larges are appointed by the chair.
There we go. Thank you.
And we're gonna do the same for the CDC, or those are all gonna be separate motions when we're in the second meeting?
It'll be in the second meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll move it.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Bruno on a second. Discussion. Call the question. All those in favor of the nomination, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bylaw review and approval. Before you are the updated bylaw, clean copy of it. Any questions concerning the bylaws of the counties of Warren and Washington Industrial Development Agency as amended?
I think we've been over it pretty thoroughly.
I'll move it.
Okay, moved by Mr. Campbell, second by Mr. Bruno. Any further discussion on the bylaws? All those in favor say aye to adopt them. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next would be the procurement policy for review and approval. Motion to bring it to the floor for discussion, Supervisor Campbell. Yeah, Supervisor Bruno, thank you. Discussion on the procurement policy.
And then I think we.
Okay.
Looks good.
Right.
Just a real quick question, just on the three verbal quotes, is that part of the law or is that something open for discussion? Just being in the construction industry, getting three quotes seems to be a much bigger challenge that we've been having here the last year for the full year, and it's gonna happen for next year as well. Just want to give our team a chance to not spend too much time on something that they're chasing their tail looking for. The third quote, two seems to be a viable number that I have seen in our business dealers, and three, it seems to be challenging. It's just the environment we're in now, so I just wanted to open that up.
Absolutely. Supervisor Bruno?
If I could comment, thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. I agree. I think when we were discussing reviewing these, we said that if you show both good faith effort, then if you only get one, you get one and you move on.
As long as you've made the effort to get more than three.
Yeah, I think
At least
it's
three. So you're making the effort to get them, but if only one or two respond, that's as good as you're gonna get.
And we can put that in the writing. I saw that a lot of this has to go in writing, so
But no-
Council, what's your?
So, yeah, that is what we discussed. So if the best practice is to attempt to get three proposals. So if we solicit three proposals and only one person responds, we don't have to keep trying to get multiple proposals. We have to make that effort, and should we not receive those, it's a problem that's going around, as you
Everywhere.
mentioned, everywhere, even with, municipal, like, subject to competitive bidding requirements too, or having trouble even getting those quotes. So it is something we discussed. If we can look back at it and tweak the language to make sure that's clear, we can do that.
So shall we tweak it before we adopt it? Should we adopt it and then tweak as necessary?
Well, do you have it?
I do, right here.
Go ahead.
I thought there was something in here that's.
Because documentation was,
You just have to document that you tried, because if you just send it to one, you're gonna be in trouble. But if you send it to 4 or 5 people and you just get one or two, that's.
And this is the way it works. I don't know if you do like municipal or state bidding. They just require, as I said, that you prove that you have solicited.
Right. So I think if you're comfortable, we can approve it tonight as amended, and in each of those three three B and C, and then 4 B and C, we can add language that says that may be purchased after, all reasonable efforts are made to obtain.
yes.
Okay, we'll update that and we can approve it as amended. There's no notice requirements for the procurement policy for you to have it in advance of that.
Okay,
I'll make a note of that.
thank you. Okay, I'll call for a vote on the procurement policy as amended with additional language that will be added by council. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is the compensation policy. Review and approval, motion to bring it to the floor. Supervisor Campbell, Supervisor Bruno, thank you. Discussion.
Yeah, I think we viewed this fairly thoroughly, and what we have now. Probably ready for.
Okay. No further discussion. I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the compensation and reimbursement, attendance and paid time off policy, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the Bucks County Biscotti tax resolution, please.
Bucks County, we reached out to them, their sales tax authorization expires the end of this month. They're not asking for any increases, but they are asking for an extension through the end of January. So it's a month extension, no increases in total project cost.
Oh, there was.
They didn't increase the total project cost, they increased the sales tax authorization.
Yeah.
So,
700,000.
right, so they were at 49,000 and they're going up to 63,000, but they only need the extension for the next 30 days and they said they're gonna be gone.
Really?
It was only request through January 31st, so.
When was I last by there and it didn't? Okay.
We'll check back with them before our January meeting. But they indicated that the total project cost, it's $1,012,000. They said that is not changing.
Okay. Everybody clear on that? Then we'll have a motion to bring that to the floor. Supervisor Bruno, and is there a second? Supervisor Campbell, thank you. Any further discussion on the Biscotti, the Bucks County Biscotti tax resolution? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Thank you. Anything else to come before the IDA board at this time? I will ask for an adjournment then. Supervisor Campbell, Supervisor Bruins. Thank you. All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting closed. We will now go into Counties of Warren, Washington, CDC. We'll have a call to order and a roll call quorum confirmation. Ms. Alice?
Tim Robinson,
Yeah.
Brian Campbell,
Yes.
Juan Gonzalez.
Yes.
Dan Bruno,
Yes.
Craig Leggett,
Yes.
and Ginny Sullivan. We have a quorum, we have 6 out of 10.
Thank you. Approval of minutes for the November 21st, 2022 CDC meeting. So, Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Good. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We need approval of payables to FMBF, $282. This is IDA grant legal services. Motion bring to the floor. Mr. Gonzalez. Ms. Sullivan, discussion. Call the question. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Board of Officers nominations. The executive committee had met and they put forth for CDC slate of officers. Mr. O'Brien as the 2023 chair, Mr. Leggett as the 2023 vice chair, Mr. Robinson as the 2023 secretary and treasurer. Moved by Supervisor Campbell and seconded by Supervisor Bruno. Discussion? Hearing none, close nominations then. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None? Motion carries. Anything else to come before the CDC board at this time?
You want to do the financial?
Yeah.
There's, I don't have that on the agenda.
No.
Do we have to have any?
You don't have to. There hasn't been any activity outside of this one payable that we received from FMBF. But I mean. you can go over it if you want.
But we probably did receive 1 point, or we paid out 1.2.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
That was covered at the last meeting.
Yeah.
You could, yeah, go for it.
No, I mean, if there's financials are presented for your review, if you have any questions, we certainly would be glad to address them, and we don't have the answer today, but we will find it out for you. Does anybody have any questions?
Ready to go in January.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right. I don't know, we need to bring them into the main game minutes. do we? No,
You're doing great.
those financials, you know? Okay.
Okay, hearing no objection, then I'll entertain a motion to close the CDC meeting. Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Supervisor Bruno. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting closed. Thank you. Everybody had.